Bam. All right, so welcome, Go Team. It is the 10th of August, 2015. Good to see you all. This is my best Patrick Stewart from Star Trek's Next Generation. That's pretty weak. Anyway, I don't know. I was kind of a Picard fan. I don't know. Anybody else a Picard? Shatner just, he was a little too arrogant. I thought Picard had it. Anyway, maybe you guys don't even know what that means. Some of you younger folks are like, I don't know. What is that? All right. Tyler, do you know what that means?
I'm a Star Wars guy over here.
Doesn't even know. See? Picard. Mukovets knows. That's good. All right. Well, welcome, everybody. I'm your host, Dan McMarovich, today. And want to just say, hey. And I'm going to give you specifics here. Mom watched that. Dad, drive the dagger. There we go. Drive the dagger in the old man's heart. Very good. Yeah, is that Shatner guy still alive? He is still doing Priceline commercials. I think, maybe. Negotiator. Here we go. Very specifically, guys, our mission, as always, will continue to be, is probably not going to change unless some kind of major something happens. Just thought I'd let you we do this together, or not do this together, but we just read it for ourselves. Last time we did actually read it together. But Team Beachbody exists to help people achieve their goals and enjoy a healthy and fulfilling life. So very critical part of this is the fact that we are going to hit today. I'm going to talk a little bit about goals. And specifically, I'm going to challenge y'all. If you don't have a goal on a regular basis, guys, if you're kind of just going through life, particularly as it relates to now Beachbody as such, having goals are going to help you make progress. If you don't have some kind of a goal this month, so even if it's minimally, I'm going to hit Success Club 5 this month. That could be a goal. That could be a very simple goal. But if you don't have a goal, you're probably not going to hit it. And so I would encourage you helping people achieve their goals. One of my roles as a coach of our team, as a equiper of our team, that kind of a thing, is to help you achieve your goals. So that's our hope as coaches who are leading you in this charge, is that we would help you achieve your goals and enjoy healthy, fulfilling lives. And so it's not just the healthy part of it, it's also fulfilling, which is great. We want you to be fulfilled in what you're doing as you're coaching, as you're working out, as you're doing all those things. But that you actually are setting some goals. So whether it's maybe a physical goal, maybe you've been doing the same kind of cardio over and over and over. Maybe this is your 12th time through 21-day fix, the regular one. Seriously, you got to mix it up. You got to do something else. Maybe you've only done Body Beast forever. Maybe that's the only thing you've done. Maybe you need to mix it up with, hey, maybe some P90X2. Tyler, what do you think? That might be a good idea. Maybe you could make a blend and a hybrid. That could happen. He is doing that, so very good. My favorite program, P90X2. I absolutely love that, as well as I do love A Sanity Asylum Volume 1. Probably my two favorite programs of our entire catalog, even though I do like the lengths of some of the newer ones by far. All right, continuing, guys. The Go Team as such, as it relates, and you can see hidden in the Go Team here is the overall Beachbody mission statement. So you can check this out. But so the Go Team actually is here to equip busy coaches with the essentials to build thriving businesses that help people achieve their goals and live healthy and fulfilling lives, right? So our goal as a Go Team, equipping you essentials to build thriving businesses. That's our goal. And we want to be doing that on a regular basis. And we do that through our process. Thank you very much. It's a process. It's a process. We got to have a process, because if you don't have a process, then you don't really have anything to point people to. And it does not duplicate well, does it, Jason Schubring? Does not duplicate. He says no, it does not. Okay, so the only way that we can help others kind of pick up on this is if there's clarity to the process, guys. So let's focus just for tonight. We're not going to do the whole thing. So you can see how the coach cycle goes. But tonight, because we're going to hit a little bit on the customer side of things. So let's going to focus on the customer cycle. So here again, real fast, guys, is your free support group, which 2 weeks ago we talked about. So if you need to check out that call again, how to set it up, how to get people engaged. By the way, is anybody, a little shout out in the chat, is anybody getting any better engagement in their support group, or have you changed any of your habits as you relate to your support group? Or maybe you've started a support group. Has any of that happened for you? I guess has Jason's really eloquent call. I cried several times through that. Did that benefit, or did it pretty much just lay an egg and no one did anything? Just kidding. Good. Groups are going pretty good. For Tyler says more engagement. Yes, I know I am. I seriously am. I'm getting more by far. Yep. Oh, Rebecca, that's great news. Just started the support group last week. That's great. Starting is always scary because you're always worried about crickets and making sure people are engaging and stuff like that. So bravo to you. Stay at it. Keep strong. Keep adding value and follow all those great things that Jason taught us about. It would be great. And then we move, guys, which is coming up at the end of the month. We'll talk about this, but it's the 6-day reset. Moving into a 21-day challenge. Then we have several options on the coach opportunity, whether it is we're talking about the potential. The next one we're probably going to do, talk over with some of our leaders, is the idea of doing a sneak peek coaching thing, but only an hour long. So technically it's kind of like a webinar, but it's really not a webinar. So it's somewhere between a webinar, because it's not really a live, like presenter type of thing. It's more video-based, question-based, throw things into an event that a lot of coaches have been pretty successful with these. So it's a 1-hour deal. And so we're looking at some options there as a potential for that. So yeah, that would help me pull in a few. Absolutely. And that's what we're really trying to do, guys, is it really gets people around and it normalizes the sense of there are actually more people than the one person I'm mainly in contact with who actually do Beachbody. Maybe I should consider this. And wow, they've been getting some good results. And wow, they actually have a full-time income doing this. That's crazy. How can that happen? Oh, okay. And then some people even have part-time incomes and they take vacations and stuff. Oh, that's pretty cool. Maybe I should look into this. So that's kind of what we'll be doing. And so the coach opportunity process, and then they become a coach. Okay. So that's that whole customer cycle. If you don't understand that, or if you've never really plugged in anybody into that process, why haven't you? I would just say, why haven't you? And what's holding you back? What's holding you back? What's your stopper? Are you not feeling trained enough? Are you not feeling confident enough? If you aren't, reach out to your upline. We're working on some training. It's happening. We'll have it set for you, but minimally get through that GSR call, which we've got guidance for coaches to take people through in the group, in the coach club. So you can see that it's in the file section. Minimally do that just so you can start getting things going and start getting this cycle rolling. And as you get that cycle rolling, oh man, momentum starts happening. You start getting people under you. You start getting people excited. And guess what happens when you have people underneath you that are excited? Guess what happens to you? You get excited. It happens, doesn't it? Yes, it does. And when you have people underneath you, because you're not really engaging the process, and you got maybe a couple people you signed on last February and really haven't done anything, it's how excited are you to help them right now? Probably not. It's because you're not working the cycle. You gotta crank the wheel. So that's, I think, even just this customer cycle. So we think of it as a wheel, and if you crank the wheel, you get momentum, and it's like one of those flywheels that it starts to get. Whoa! We just saw abs. What was that, Tyler? That was you didn't even prepare for that. It was crazy. You gotta have a license for that. Okay. Anyway,
the attendance is going to double. The attendance is going to double next week.
Anyway, so that's the idea. Get that wheel cranking. Get the flywheel cranking. It'll get momentum for itself. Yeah. Anyway, that was fun. Okay, so Shout out to the new coaches. Jason, you're relatively, not Jason as in Shoebring, but Jason Bass is new on the call specifically. Rebecca Harding, I think you're newer on the call. And Melissa Mukovets, you guys are new on the call. So congratulations to all yo. That's great stuff. And guess what? My friend Liz is going to talk to us on our next segment, which is a quote to grow on. So Miss Gaver, can you unmute yourself?
Hello.
Okay. Here you
Okay.
go. There you are.
You can hear me?
I sure can.
Okay,
Right,
that's
so
fabulous.
I'm going to put it up on the screen, and you take it away.
Okay, well, I got to move this thing here. One of my favorites. We all face hurdles in our lives. You need the courage to overcome them, but you also need the power of togetherness. Good old Dan Cohen from Les Mills. There goes my cat. For me, this is speaking volumes to me. I saw this over the weekend, and it speaks volumes to me because I can very easily I got a real stressful, hectic job, and there's a lot of hurdles that I have to face, and I need lots of courage to overcome them. And what I like is the fact that, especially with this group, there's just a massive amount of support. And what really spoke to me is we need the power of togetherness, which I think we have, which I know we have on this team. And I know I can put myself on an island pretty quickly, and I'm the only one that can get through these, and nobody can help me. But it's great when I realize that, yes, I have a whole team of people behind me. So that's what I like about it.
That's so great. Yeah, and I think that's the critical nature of doing this as a team, because I mean, here's the truth, guys, is if we don't have that support to celebrate the highs and then also minimize the lows, because it's a natural. It's such a natural part of the coaching experience, guys. There are highs and then there are lows. And if you don't have people on both ends of that spectrum to either celebrate with, it's kind of empty. Because you guys understand this. Like the runner who finishes the race, the kid, okay, you guys understand this. The kid who finishes the race who really doesn't have a family necessarily to then go home and celebrate that with, or maybe who's there or something, there's something that's missing for them. There's a collective miss there because it's not celebrated with someone else. They can celebrate it for themselves, but when they celebrate it, I think it makes it exponential, the joy. But then on the other side is the defeat. To share the defeats or the struggles is that then when we've got those people around us, it actually halves them. You've probably heard that. So that people are with you, they multiply or they exponentially reduce the struggles. So that's great. Good stuff. Thanks, Liz, for sharing. And our next segment, here we go really quick, is no use this. Very good. One more time. It is what? No use this. It's really quiet. Sorry. Anyway, now use this. Is our time, and it's important because we have to have something that is practical and helpful every call, because part of what we're doing is equipping busy coaches. Okay, anyway. Here we go. Shakeology boosts. Y'all know about them, but did you know about this site? Did you? I bet you didn't. And it's right embedded in your own Shakeology site. So if you go to your own Shakeology site and actually use my Shakeology.com /your username, right? That's your site. If y'all know about that, hope you know about that. That's your Shakeology site that you can refer people to when they're specifically asking questions about Shakeology. They've got, I want to know nutritionally what's in this. I have a little bit more questions that I really want to research, blah, blah, blah. It's very pro-looking, way better looking, can we all get an amen, than our regular Beachbody Coach site, which are hopefully in process. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about that. Yeah. And it's mobile responsive, which is great. So that's the new, just so you know, guys, everything's heading that direction. It's just going to be taking some time. But check out the boosts here real quick. Stop share real quick because I want y'all to see this if you haven't seen it. I'm going to share a different screen. Here you go. Let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? All right. So here we are. You are at the top of your thing, of your Shakeology site, and you've got Boost. It is highlighted in blue. So you can see it's got your focused energy boost, your power greens boost, little tabs, or your digestive health. And then you can kind of scroll down. It's got nutrition facts here. It's got a place where people can buy all that stuff. It gives an ingredient spotlight, gives you all that's going in there so people can understand what's actually being put into their bodies, not just this magical powder that makes them feel good, which is great. But I like to kind of know what's going inside me. And then there's different, like you can customize the supply, home direct, talks a little bit about the money back guarantee. So if you're looking for people who have specific issues, and we're going to talk about this as it relates to particularly this week with regards to persuasion. Energy is pretty much something that everybody needs more of. Everybody. I don't care if you're the marathoner who's in perfect fitness shape. Everybody needs some more energy. So there is a discussion that you could have about focused energy, which would be great. Most people too do not get enough greens. Most people too do not get enough fiber. This is great. These are great options that we can kind of present to people in a non-salesy way because you're actually solving problems for them and helping them live healthy, fulfilling lives. Sound familiar? Yes. So that's what we're looking for. If you can connect people with these things, I would suggest if you have not read them yet, you should probably read them. Okay? So be somewhat educated on what you're doing here so we're in good shape so you can then be, you have to be a complete professional. You don't need to be Darren O'Lean, but you do need to be able to at least reference a little bit of some of the factors that are how is Shakeology Boost different than the Energize? Like, what's the difference there? They're both, Energize performance line. How's that different than this? What's in it that's different? You can kind of explain some of those things and understand. And then Power Greens, how is that, maybe different than, I don't know if you guys remember, but like Alkalize from the Ultimate Reset. Is there a difference there? For people who have maybe done the reset. I don't know. So, okay. Anyway, good stuff. Please take a look at that. It is something you can use, and it is, once again, no, use this. Yeah, I have to use it again just because I made it. I don't know why. All right, so here we go. Back. Hi, Bryce. I see you. Let me see. Share different screen. Blah, 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 blah. Where are we at? Oh, my gosh. I had two of these open. I think I'm going to hit the right one here. I hope it is. I had two keynotes open, and they're both on the same exact slide. Okay. Very good. I got it right. New challenge coming up. We mentioned it before as we're talking about the customer cycle. Anybody done? Who has done? Please shout out in the chat. Who has done a 6-day clean eating reset? Please go. Good. Shout out in the chat. Liz has. Tyler has. Samsung has. Sorry. Stacy, Samsung. I figured it was you, Stacy. Yep. Good. So this tool, by the way, just so you know, it's happening right now. There is an actual invite. There is Google is currently, it's awesome. It's flagging the 6-day clean right now. David's working on it. There's some malware that somehow may have invaded that particular site. So anyway, so he's working on that. We won't have that notification anymore because he's working on it. But so there's this new challenge that's starting, and I would suggest highly that if you have not already done it, create your event, create some social media posts, try to get the word out there, invite your friends, invite your family, invite your neighbors. I don't know, anybody who needs to get maybe back on track after summer. Because here's the truth, guys. There's a lot of margaritas that have been drunk. There's a lot of bratwurst that have been eaten. And there's a lot of ice creams that have been mowed down that people need recovery from. And you can deal with all those specifically, or you can let Weight Watchers do it, right? One or the other. People are going to look right now. It's time. They're back to schedules. Kids are back in school. it's time to start thinking this way, getting people set. The sooner you hit this, if you wait till October to do this, you're too late. Just saying, you're too late. And then you're going to have to wait till after maybe the Halloween candy, but it's nowhere near the motivation that getting back to school is, guys. This is the next big bump. And if you ride this wave this next month or so, it's going to ride you through Christmas. Because honestly, I want to be real for everybody. September will be the next biggest month. And then it all sort of goes down in normal Beachbody history. Our sales and just the way people do, they commit less and less over the holidays. It just happens that way. And then, of course, what happens, January, February, March, everything boosts back up. So put the work in now so you're not crying when it comes to like mid-November and you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I had anybody. What's the deal? So build those relationships now, okay? Very good. All right, we have a little quick sneak. I wanted to we've been doing this 6-week High Performance Academy. We just got done week 1, and I've got a special guest of a certain man here who's got a lovely wife who needs to share, and she's going to share with us. This is Nicole Schubring. Nicole, can you please turn on your mic? Hello?
Okay, I think I'm here. Do you
You
hear me?
are!
Yay!
You're so techie.
I'm so not techie. But
Great
anyway.
job. Nice job. Okay, so little explanation. For those of you who don't know, the people who are Emerald and above and also committed to going to Summit next year, we've been part of our 6-week High Performance Academy. We're going to do these about every 6 weeks or so. And well, you'll have opportunity. So if you didn't get in the last one, I just wanted to give you a little, just after 1 week, we won't do this every week, but I just want to give a little snippet about maybe what, Nicole, you've been experiencing the first week as we've done this, and maybe a takeaway or something that's really hit you from our first week of being part of the High Performance Academy.
Okay. I think that what hit me the most was, well, first I was learning what kind of life am I in. I haven't really thought about that before.
Can you say it again? I think it broke up a little bit on me. Say it again.
Oh sorry.
No problem.
Just learning is this a little bit better?
Yeah, except I
Okay.
can't see your face.
Oh, maybe I should go down by Jason.
That's all right. No, I think that would actually feed back. Maybe you're
Oh, okay. So let's see here. Well, just first thinking about what kind of life I was in, because I never thought about it before. I guess now after reading it, I kind of figure I'm in the comfortable life because I've done.
Okay, so let's explain real quick. We're reading
Yeah.
a book called The Charge by Brendan Burchard, and we talked a
Right.
little bit about living a charged life. Okay, so a charged life versus a couple other lives, which is one was called a caged life, and then another one was called a comfortable life. So go ahead.
So yeah, so the comfortable life, I guess I've gone through life as like you're supposed to, right? You go to college, you get your first job, you buy your house, you have your kids, that sort of thing. And then it's like, well, now what? You know, now they're getting old enough that I can go back into the workforce if I want to, or I can do this if I want to, or I can do anything that I want to. And I've never really been in that position before.
Mm-hmm.
And to think about that, it's like, whoa, I have not thought about that. What is next?
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat to be able to say, whoa, hello.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Well, and you know what, Nicole? So this would be my challenge to you as well. That right there, I would call your market.
Oh.
That could be a killer market to go after. That transitioning mom, like the mom who says, I've been doing this. I got kids in school. I have an option. I could go and work for Home Depot. Really? Or I could stay home and work a couple hours, 2-3 hours a day, have lots of flexibility, not be tied down to some other schedule, have summers, I could have flexibility over the summer when the kids are off. So, you know what I mean? I would call that something you could really look at. And there's this guy I know who could probably help you dial that in. His name is Jason. You may know him. You could probably.
I might run into him. Yeah.
Maybe. I could connect you if you need that. Yeah, no. So I think, honestly, that would be a really great thing. So just speaking specifically to that, that's a great take. I'm glad you're finding that, but I think that's awesome. So good. All right. Thank you so much, Nicole. Appreciate you sharing. All right. We're almost there to the content of the call. Last slide before the content of the call. Success Club. Y'all can see. Look at Jay Shubby. Jay Shubby over on the left. Nice job. At least 2 Lives Club. We got Stacy, Jessica Jackson, and yours truly. And then we got a whole bunch of yous. Now, see, it's starting to happen. More people are getting in that one Life Club. And guess who I haven't seen in a while that I just got to give a little shout out to? But actually, a couple people here particularly is I got to shout out to Sherelle and Bryce. Nice job, y'all, guys. It's been a while since we've seen you up there, so that's great to see you back up on the board. Deb Spratt on the board, which is great. She's Liz's star, which is great. So she's making some great progress. Lots of you guys here. Jennifer, Andy, Nicole, Carrie, Dana, and Bonnie. Good job, you guys. And just keep up the great work. We're proud of you. So keep helping people, guys. And this is the month. If you, like I said, you can get some great progress coming into the fall here. All right. The art of persuasion. You guys ready? You guys ready? Drum roll, please. Very good. So, art of persuasion. Now, how many of you, when you think of persuasion, think of this? Right? I'm going to persuade you. I got a deal that you ain't going to believe. Yeah, you're going to love this car. It is awesome. It has got all 4 cylinders in it. And whatever. They may not work, but they're all here. Anyway, so that's kind of the approach that a lot of people feel when they think of persuasion. They think of icky. They think of, hey, I'm trying to get somebody to they mistake the word persuasion for coercion, right? There's a difference. So persuasion is, there are a lot of people who are persuasive that are actually doing great things because people, I mean, let's face it, some of the greatest people in history were great at the art of persuasion, okay? So we think of MLK, Martin Luther King Jr. We think of Nelson Mandela. We think of Mahatma Gandhi. We think of people who were able with their words to convince people to either think or act differently. And so basically, let's define persuasion really quickly here, guys, okay? This is the official persuasion definition. The action or fact of persuading someone or of being persuaded to do or believe something, to do or believe something, okay? So what we are doing as we are trying to persuade as coaches, okay? We are trying to get people to do something. So I'm going to give a working definition that we're going to work from that's a little bit less technical than specifically this. So real quickly here, guys. So our definition we're going to work from is persuasion is influencing others to believe and or commit to something, okay? They're going to make a decision based on what you help deliver or what you help present before them. Now, we've gone over this before, and Jason actually did a call on this a little bit while back, but we want to really kind of single this out specifically, guys, that in the art of persuasion, and as you're trying to convince somebody is part of the word, maybe, or you're trying to like get them to make that first step or make a step towards the direction of something you're going to try to convince them towards. Questions, guys, are key. So it's important to have really good questions. Now, the basic process. Now, if you've gone through any training that we've done in this, okay, especially if you've listened to on the in the Coach Club, if you listen to the customer interview process audio, you can find that still. This is the basics level of getting people to the point of just at least minimally the basic questions, okay? And we're going to cover the basics here real fast. So when you're interviewing a customer, And this could be either text, or it can be on a messenger, or it can be a voice, or however you want to do it. It could be Skype. I don't know how you can do it. In person, it's fine. These basic questions. So the basic 4 ones that I say are, so what are your goals? So when somebody expresses some kind of interest in health fitness, they say, hey, I'm interested in that challenge pack or whatever, you know, blah, 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 blah. There's a point where we have to okay, now we've got to ask them what their goals are. Because remember, again, back to the beginning, the mission of Beachbody is to help people live, achieve their goals and live healthy and fulfilling lives. Achieve their goals, not your goals. So your goal is not necessarily to hit Success Club. It's actually to help that person get healthier, and then you will hit Success Club, right? Everybody with me? Okay, so we're clear on that. It's not just about Success Club. It's about the Success Club is the sign of helping people achieve their goals. Okay, got it. Goals. So we asked them that. 2, what have you been doing recently with exercise, right? So what have you been doing? All right, I've been doing a little bit of Zumba. I take a walk, I walk my dog, I run, I have a marathon, whatever. Okay, these are different things. Great. Awesome. That's awesome. That's great to hear that you're doing that. I'm glad you're taking some steps in the right direction. Great. You firm it, whatever. Nutrition. This is my favorite question. You may want to write it down. This is one of my favorite ways of posing the specific question. Because here's the thing. Let me show you the wrong way to ask this question about nutrition. This is the one that I used to have a lot of problems with. And you can write down the bad version of everything. But you can say, how's nutrition going for you? Worst way to ask that question. Because what do most people say? It's going all right. I don't eat birthday cakes every day and bacon, at least at the same time. Birthday cakes and bacon. I do have the bratwurst with the bacon, but not the birthday cakes and the bratwurst and the bacon all simultaneously. So I'm doing all right. So anyway, most people think they're doing better than they really are. So the better way, if you want to do this, let me write it down. You can write it down. You can type it down. You put it in Evernote, whatever you want to do. Maybe, I think this could help, is what does a typical day of nutrition look like for you? What does a typical day look like? And then you can kind of run it down. And then they may give a few details, and I've been running into this lately. They'll highlight the things that are going well. And then, oh yeah, I'm eating some chicken in the evening. Okay. Well, so are you eating breakfast? Oh, I forgot to leave out. Yeah, I don't really eat breakfast. Tell me what your lunch like. Well, I go out to Arby's. It's not the worst. It's not McDonald's, right? Okay, so there's different things. So I would say specifically, what does a typical day in nutrition look like for you? Something to use right there. And then finally, the basic 4 of this, future tense. We want to ask, so let's say they say, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to go down, 2 pant sizes, or whatever they want to do. And they mention all their goals, and then they talk about a little bit of exercise, talk about nutrition. Then you sort of paint that picture for them. Well, let's say, hey, Jim, if you lose those 20 pounds, man, and we get you to that place of where you get in a new pair of pants, you can go to that wedding and feel more comfortable because you're not big Uncle Jim now, you're Slim Uncle Jim, which is feeling better, Slim Jim. And so we're at that point. How do you feel? So when you walk in that room, you walk in, the reception, and you're in your new clothes. How do you feel? And you might say, well, yeah, I feel more confident. I feel proud. I feel like, I don't look like a slug anymore. That's great. Awesome. Isn't that great? And that's often a good start. And that's starting on the right path. Often people will stop at the first 3 and they won't get to that 4th one. Anybody guilty of that? Goals and maybe what you're doing just with your exercise and nutrition. And then you really don't paint the picture of the future. Anybody? Right? You just sort of doing the nuts and bolts. And that's what then it actually removes us from the why, and you've maybe heard of this term before, but the why that makes you cry. So if we never get to the point where there's an emotional reason why they need to get that weight off. I just talked with somebody literally about 20 minutes ago and dug into her why, and we're digging into her why. And she's like, why do you need clean eating? she was asking for help online for a customer, but Ryan, she needs some help with clean eating. So what are you looking to accomplish? I really asked. And then she said, well, I need to lose 12 pounds. Well, what so like, oh, no, I'm sorry. I actually said, so why now? What's the deal? Why do you need to do this now? Well, I need to lose 12 pounds so I can get pregnant. Okay. That just changed the game for me with her. My whole approach is very different at that point, and my compassion level, and I'm not going to like be that like, well, you never have a baby if you, or of course I'm going to be sympathetic to this whole thing. I'm going to be a caring and compassionate person, but now we've got a why that can really make you cry, kids, right? A person who's like, I gotta lose 12 pounds so I can have a baby because I really want to have a baby. So now we can start to go, so when you're holding that baby for the first time in your arms, and you know you accomplished what you did, how do you think you're gonna feel? That changes things. And talk about achieving their goals and live healthy and fulfilling lives, guys. That just took a whole new track for me, man. And I'm not persuading in terms of coercion. What did I just do? I'm helping her move to a place of, wow, I've just persuaded you to get what you want. So I didn't like coercion is persuading you to necessarily something you don't really need. When you coerce somebody into something, right? It's something you don't really, I don't really need that. But persuasion is like when something is truly beneficial for them and it ultimately does line up. Because sometimes, let's face it, guys, there are going to be points when what we don't have, what we have doesn't really line up with what people need. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It happens all the time. It's happening to points where I'm like, well, maybe that one just doesn't work for you. You know, they don't want to drink shakes. They really just, whatever. And they really don't like to exercise. Okay, I guess we're probably not going to, we're at that point where it's not going to work out for it. Okay, so, but let's dig now. So if questions are key, and we do ask these basic four, and that future one is the one that starts to hinge us towards a whole new level of questioning. I want to, as Sean T would say, I want you to dig deeper. I want you to dig deeper. If you're limiting your questioning, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to say this, to 4 because you're in a hurry, or 3 because you're really in a hurry, your retention rate, your level of commitment of that person, how they're going to stay engaged, how they're going to actually then maybe consider becoming a coach down the road, all of that will and the difference is going to maybe make 3 to 4 to 5 questions and maybe a day difference in terms of your wait time about their decision. And I remember being busy. Shoot, man, when I was at the place when I was working, had my day job and doing this. Now, granted, I still have a day job when I'm doing my fitness center. So just so you all know, I'm still there with you in the trenches when it comes to something that's not exactly this. Okay. So, but when I was doing that and I wanted decisions to come faster, I'm like, come on, I got stuff to do. I need the decision. We got a challenge we got a challenge coming up. Let's go, go, go. And you're trying to push it through. Then we stop at question 3 because we want to just get people expedited. It's like, I don't really want to waste that time with that question, that whole getting feeling stuff. I mean, that's going to take too long. Let's get moving. But ultimately, my results with people ended up suffering. Okay? So I'm going to tell you to ask more questions and to ask better questions. And Jason would agree with that. I guarantee you that's what his call related to before. Okay? So here's what I'm going to ask you specifically. The more you know about your prospect, the more you kind of understand their story, the more they're willing to divulge, and the more you're able to spend a little bit of time asking some things, what they value intrinsically and maybe extrinsically. So let's talk about really quickly what an intrinsic motive, something, a value of intrinsic. So they value, I guess they value a sense of accomplishment. So when they accomplish something, it makes them feel good. So if they finish something, they that gives them intrinsic value. I'm a finisher. That's what I do. I'm a person who finishes. That's great. Or maybe intrinsically, it's like, wow, I love the fact that when I experience a challenge, that I do attack it straight on, and I still, no matter how difficulty of it, I actually still dig in. So I'm a go-getter. I don't know, whatever. So there's this kind of motivation. There's this intrinsic sense of the value there. But then extrinsically, there might be other values, okay? So that can look like this particular list real quickly. Time. So if they value extrinsically, and this is actually a mix of things, so it can be either way. Do they value time? Is like time important? Man, it's like time is money. Got to roll, got to get it done, got to get expediency. Is money important to them? Is status important? Like, wow, that person is great. Are their kids important? Is their health important? What's important to them? And in this case, what I just got done, the story I just shared, obviously a family is important to her, right? So when her part of her why in this, part of that and technically this would be an extrinsic, but to some degree also as maybe a wanting to be a mom, and there's some intrinsic there as well, that she's going to value that stuff. Okay, so if we can know a little bit more about our people, and that's why, guys, this relational marketing can be either really greasy, and I'll return you back to this, right? Especially with your family members. It can be, or the closest people are closest to you. Oh man, it can be all sorts of greasy. But when it's done right and done well, it's actually a really cool and beautiful thing, because then you've actually talked to them and gotten to maybe in a deeper level with some people that you've not gotten that deep with in a while. Okay. And that's pretty cool. So then you can go, wow, this is, you kind of get to dig into their deeper where you're at. But this is the big deal. When you're going into these conversations, if you don't have any preparation, then you're going to kind of fly by the cuff, or by the seat of your pants, off the cuff, and you're not going to be able to ask maybe the best questions, because you're going to be you actually haven't even thought this stuff kind of through. So having a little bit of a game plan as you go into talking to people, even if it's literally 2 minutes before you talk on a phone or before you enter a chat situation, if you just sketched out 3 or 4 things that I think these guys value. What does Sarah value? She values her family. Bam. Good. Write it down. She values her she values her volunteerism. She loves to be a volunteer. She loves to have energy. So she's going to need energy for volunteering, right? Oh, yeah. She likes to be the leader. Oh, okay. Well, that's really cool. Maybe we can play into that, a little bit of that. A leader type of person, we always need leaders in our groups, and I think you'd be a great person to help motivate people in our group. You see, and it's really just a simple extra couple set of words because you thought it through, okay? So I'm going to give you 4 questions. I want you to consider writing these down, okay? I'm going to give 4 questions to ask yourself, okay, that can benefit you in your questions that you would ask to the potential person you're talking to, okay? Questions to ask. Number 1, what personal benefit will they experience with this change, okay? So what personal benefit is going to happen with this person? They're going to lose weight. They're going to make money because it's a coaching opportunity. They're going to have more freedom of time. They're going to, they're going to have more friends. They're going to have better influence in the community. They're going to have more energy. They're blah, 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 whatever. What's a personal benefit that they're going to have? Okay, that's number 1. That's the personal side of things. Then number 2, what benefits would be passed on to others around them from this change? Okay, so back to that Sarah gal. She loves her family. She wants to be a great mom. She ends up having more energy because if she's exercising, because she's eating right, she's drinking Shakeology, all these things she's doing, even doing the energy boost. That's great. She's going to be a better mom. Wow. So, Sarah, I know you want to be like the best mommy possible, and you're running like crazy, aren't you? Yeah, I'm always running. It's always crazy. Are you tired off? Yeah, I'm always tired off. So what if we helped you with this, and we got your nutrition line, we got your green shake. If you then had more energy to be able to give to your kids, do you think that would be a win? Yeah, I think it would be. And don't be afraid to ask the dumb thing. Because, right, guys, that's a dumb question, isn't it? I mean, really, who would say, nope, I don't want more energy? That would be horrible. I mean, really, you're saying, you're kind of stating the obvious. So if we got your stuff and I'll get it set, and you actually had more energy to be a better mom, would that be a win for you? Of course she's going to say yes. Of course she's going to say yes. That's where you place. And then the more of those that you can line up, so let's say you found that. Now then intrinsically, hey, I know you love to achieve it. And what if you, because you're an achiever and you love, actually, let's say you're a competitor and you like to actually, and you like extrinsic, you like the fun stuff. Like you like to win the ribbon, you like to get the award, whatever, that kind of stuff. What if you finished this program and you got done 21 days, you made some great results, and you got your free t-shirt? And you got that t-shirt in the mail, says 21-day fix, finisher, whatever, thing, ran through. How's that going to feel when you put that shirt on and you walk around a little bit? Oh, yeah, that'll feel great, because I'm a completer, I'm a finisher. Okay? That's question number 2. Number 3, what consequences, this is the opposite side, this is the flip side of it. What consequences occur if they don't change? So, not that you're going to out to scare everybody. Yes, yes, you could have cancer. Yes, you could have whatever. But there are some specifics as it relates to their specific issues. So, if you don't change, do you see how your energy is going to drop? Do you see how your blood levels are going to be worse? Do you see how, you can kind of talk those things? And I've done that with some people sometimes, and that's really motivated sometimes to be able to go, yeah. Do you see if you go down this road, guess what? The way you're taking care of your parents right now, you're probably going to have to your kids are going to probably have to take care of you. You want that to happen? No. Yeah. I was in the same boat with you because I saw the same thing happen to my dad when my mom took care of my dad that last 10 years of his life. And I'm dealing with it right now. My mom's in the hospital. Literally, I'm saying this right now. My mom is in the hospital because of poor health choices right now. So just saying, all those different things. What are the consequences if they don't change their actions? Okay. And then this is a good one, guys. And this is where I think a lot of us sometimes miss the boat. What deadline can I share and what reason can I give to hit it? Okay. And it can be as simple as, hey, it could save you $20 or it could save you some money, save you $70 signing up for the thing. Or it can be, hey, we're starting now, and otherwise you're going to have to wait a whole month to get started probably or whatever. And we don't want you to have to wait. So giving a deadline can really then start to get people to the place where it's, yeah, they get it. They maybe even made the decision. Yep, I should do this. I should do this. But how about now? What's holding you back? Giving them a deadline will help them move that decision forward. So we're not just waiting on that decision forever. And that's where you get crickets, right? Often, if you don't give some kind of deadline, crickets, big time. Big time that people, you say, hey, you going to do this someday? Yeah, someday I'll do it. And then you just wait forever. All right, Claire, are you there? Claire?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Awesome. Claire is going to be scenario 1. I didn't have a better name for it. Sorry, Claire. That's all you get is scenario. You're scenario 1.
Scenario 1.
And
Okay.
she is a customer. She's a working mom. Very good. Yeah. Hold on. Sorry, I'm going to read.
Oh, good.
That's good stuff. When did you plan to start? Yep. Very good. Good question.
Oh,
Okay. So here we are. So I was reading. So customer, very good. So this is Claire, and she is a working mom. She doesn't have any time. She has little money. She's low on energy. She's pretty much given up on herself, and she's tried that other brand of shake that we don't even want to mention. Okay. So I'm talking to her. I know this about her. I know she's been able to, I know, she's expressed some interest, but, this is my list that I kind of understand. So I go, hey, Claire, how's it going?
It's good. Good.
Good. So
I've been pretty busy.
been busy, working pretty hard. Yeah. So how's the job going?
Uh, It's going.
Yeah. That's
I'm
pretty
tired
crazy.
at the end of the day, but I get through it.
Yeah, that's crazy. And so hey, I wanted to talk to you. I know you expressed a little bit of interest in our challenge. So I want to get an idea of that so kind of maybe what your goals might be as it would be to as you're getting started in like health fitness. Like what would really be a win for you if we move forward? What would be a good goal?
I would like to lose weight and have some sort of good food eating or good way of eating, some good nutrition plan
Okay.
that would
So
help.
yeah, so actually having a plan would help you, and because you're obviously, and you probably, I'm betting if we found something for you that specifically as it relates to food, if it would be family friendly, right? Because you got to make stuff for your kids, and you don't want to be making 2 meals, right? So if we got
Right.
you a set of meals that maybe during the day could be more tailored to you, but then maybe at the nighttime would be more tailored so you could still eat healthy, but then also satisfy the family. You think that would be a win?
Yes, definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
that sounds good. Okay, so what have you been doing like recently, like specifically when it comes to your workouts? Like, have you been doing any working out? What have you been doing?
Well, let's see. I do have a workout that where I work, you can go to a gym at lunch, and I do that twice a week. But what I'm finding is I'm not losing any weight, and I think it's all my nutrition. I'm just not eating right, and it's just not coming off.
Ah, gotcha,
But I only do it twice a week for half an hour each.
gotcha. So yeah, that makes sense.
That's the only time I can fit it in because my family. I'm
Yeah,
at home.
so you feel the pinch when you're trying to just get the 2 days a week, and then you probably just have other things to do probably on your lunch hour sometimes. So if we were to maybe even find something, because I'm wondering, that like at home, if we could even look at what might, yeah, we'll hold off on that. Let me ask you a little bit more. Tell me more about your nutrition. What does a typical day in nutrition look like for you?
Well, let's see. I really don't eat breakfast. I drink coffee with creamer and just go to work, and I pretty much am just plugging away till almost lunchtime, and I'm starving. And I have a pretty healthy lunch. I grab a salad or grab a sandwich. I don't really eat, you know, fried food or anything like that at lunch, or minimal, really. And then I go home. I really don't have a snack or anything during the day, and I go home and make dinner. And if I have a light lunch, I found myself like gorging myself at dinner.
Yeah.
And that's when I eat my big meal.
Sure. And then what about like late night then? I'm betting you're probably pretty hungry later night too because of that if you don't eat.
Yeah, if I don't eat before if I eat before 7 or so, yeah, I'll be hungry. But if I'm eating like 7:30, I'm fine.
Okay.
That's
That makes sense. Okay, so I got a pretty good picture. Now, so if we helped you lose, here's kind of painting the picture for you. Because I know you probably need, so let's talk about your energy level. So if your energy as a mom, as a working mom, as when you're taking your kids back and forth to sports and stuff like that, do you feel like you could probably do with more energy? And do you have like any dips during the day when you're like kind of dips in your energy level at points?
Yes, mid-afternoon, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
typical. A lot of
def-
people, particularly moms who are running kids back and forth, and
mm,
and especially that whole idea of not eating breakfast. That's a big one too for you. Ultimately, your metabolism's kind of taking that hit. So yeah, I think we could definitely dial that in a bit for you. So if we did get you to this place, Claire, where you were able to, if we were able to find something that maybe you gave you a specific meal plan, like we said, work for yourself, work for your family, gave you keeping your metabolism stoked a little bit more. So during the day, especially around that 3 o'clock slot, you wouldn't have that kind of big old dip in energy level. If we found some form of exercise that you could do, maybe even at home, that we could do for a short period even, and do it regularly enough that it would give you some progress, so you're actually getting your heart rate up enough so you're burning the fat that you want to burn. And we put that all together and got you the progress of, let's say that's, I don't know, what you didn't give a specific number. Is there like a specific weight goal that you're looking to kind of lose?
Yeah, about 10, 12 pounds.
Yeah. So if we got to that 10, 12 pounds off, and maybe you like got into that, like a dress size down, and maybe, coming up here, I know we talked about that wedding you got coming up. Totally lying here. But wait, kid, a wedding you got coming up, and you're able to fit into that little black dress, right? That's a little bit, and you feel that much more, are you going to feel great, when you're more confident as that, and more energy, all this? Would this be a win for you if we were able to get all that for you?
Totally win.
Yeah.
I'd love to, find a good nutritional breakfast of some sort, because I feel like that's my place where I'm lacking.
Yeah, and it's probably something that you need to happen fast. So anyway, so guys, that's kind of how we would take through a process of that. And then we might go into, okay, well, hey, I think I've got a solution for you that I'd like to send a video to you on. I'd like to send a link to you. And that's very simple. It's that the fitforlifechallenge.com/invited/ blah, blah, and your 6 digits of your coach ID number. You send that to these people, and then they get a chance to look at this very professional looking page. Guys, just being real, it looks so stinking professional because I'd say David, my coach, has just spent a lot of time and energy putting together a really, really great looking page. And it specifically relates to the 21-day fix, 21-day fix extreme. So that would give then a chance for her to then go, hey, we're going to be able to get through these goals. She's going to see this gal that looks sort of in her range of world. She's going to be excited about that. Maybe, hey, that I can make some progress. Okay. So that is then you ask great questions, and then you point to tools. You ask great questions and you point to tools. If at that point, newbies particularly, listen to this. If at that point, when she said that, and then she said, would that be a win? Yes. And then I go, well, hey, I've got this challenge pack that's on for sale for $140. It's size. Let's make sure you get your size thing, but it's coming up here size. She's going to go, oh, no. It's better at that point to break the connection and point to a tool and then follow up later, because then it lets them have a little bit more time to process. It's not a light decision, guys. $140, $160 is not a light decision. It's not $10. It's, that's a decent decision. So give them that time, and then you follow up as a professional. You follow up with them when you say you're going to follow up, and again, set the time. So they're going to send this to you. I'd love to follow up with you by Wednesday. Do you think you'll be able to look at it? Because I know you're busy, so maybe not tonight. Maybe by tomorrow night you could take a look at it, and then I could follow up with you on Wednesday. Sound good? Sounds good.
Yeah.
Great.
Sounds good.
So that would help. Does this all make sense, guys? Jason, we're probably gonna have to put a delay on this for you guys. We're going really long. So we were gonna go through a whole coaching scenario too, guys. You know what we might even do? We could do a bonus material. We could. So if people need to leave, we could even do that. But he and I could actually go through a quick bonus thing on this as well, which would be great. Because I think it's important for us guys to be able to have both the customer a little bit and a little bit on the coaching side of this when we do approach people with coaching. Stephanie Morris, I know you said this specifically. I don't know if you're still on the call, that you've had some issues and questions about, like, what is it to take a person who's on a challenge pack and then really start the conversation about coaching. And I think persuasion is going to be the key for you. Okay. So we'll get that in just a second. I'm going to let people go, and then I'm going to come back. So once again, the working definition of persuasion is influencing others to believe and commit to something. Okay. the more questions and the better questions that we ask, guys, the more we're going to help be able to get people into our process, right? So if we're able to get them into our process, they understand our process, they go through that sales funnel up front, they become a full-out customer, then we can ask them to enter into the coaching opportunity, and ultimately our businesses grow. So I want you to think about this, guys, tonight. I want you to think about one thing that you can do to apply what we learned tonight. And so I'm going to ask you to consider this specific thing. Who is one person I can try this technique out in the next 24 hours with? Okay? It doesn't need to be the full of it. You don't need to be like, oh my gosh, I got to have every last aspect of this down. But maybe there's someone that you need there's a challenge that's coming up. Maybe it's a challenge for the 6th day coming up here on the 24th. Maybe that's the start for you. Okay? So one person you can move forward with. We have run over, I don't think we've ever gone this long, but I think it's hopefully decent content, guys. If there are any questions, quickly type them in the chat and we can address those. Otherwise, we're going to say, hey, once again, 10K by 18, y'all. Keep it going. We're keeping this going. We're running these challenges. 10,000 Lives by Summit 18. Now I'm going to remind you of these last 4 things. Ladies and gents, you are special. And you are courageous. You are contagious. You're a coach. And you're changing lives. The people in front of you, the people who are with you, the people who are even sort of with you, who we get frustrated with sometimes. We're like, I bash my head against the computer screen sometimes because they don't respond. But guys, you're a coach and you've decided to step out. And I love that word, particularly the second one, courageous, because sometimes we have to step out of our comfort zone and challenge people to do some things that maybe aren't the most comfortable and most convenient for them to do, but they are sometimes the most important things for them to do. So thank you for taking that risk. Sometimes relationally, it's difficult because you're putting yourself in a spot where you're challenging somebody. Ooh, sometimes that doesn't feel so good. So I wanted to say thank you for being a coach, because coaches are everyday people doing extraordinary things. And that's what we are, Team Beachbody. So next week, guys, we're going to cover, Jason and I, we're going to tag team on this one. Oh, baby. This is where it's good. Seriously, guys, you're going to want to miss this one. You may miss the other calls, but you're going to miss this one because you are going to learn what it means to really define your target. Who are you trying to reach? Are you trying to reach stay-at-home moms? You're trying to reach people who are business executives, are trying to reach out to truck drivers, you're trying to reach out to, you got all these different targets you're trying to reach out to. If you got too many targets, you ain't going to hit it. So we're going to help you define that target. We're going to give you specific rubrics so that you can go through and figure out who you're trying to reach. And then you will have less problems generating social media content for them. Because you'll be actually, wow, these are the problems that they're facing. These are the questions that they're asking. I don't have to worry about what to post because I know what to post because these are the issues. So some of you have struggled sometimes. Those gave her. Pay attention. This is your call, girl. Okay, is that having that defined target will help you generate your social media content. Then you won't have so many question marks. You'll go, that's what they need to solve. I know what these people need. I know what questions they're asking. I know where they shop. I know what things they value. I know what they buy. I know what TV shows they watch, whatever. You can start to define those things, and it's really, really, really great. Because then you can connect with them and help solve their problems. Okay, defining your target. Next week, guys, 9 p.m., August 17th, Jay Shubs and me are going to be rocking that out. So thank you so much, guys, for listening. And we're going to let you go. So thank you so much. If you want to hang on, Jay and I are going to do probably about another 5-10 minutes here on coaching real quick, if that's cool, which will be we're just going to talk about interviewing a specific coach. So thanks, guys. All right, Jay, you there?
I'm here, dude. Can you hear me?
Good. So here we go. So this is a coach. So we're going to hit another scenario about influence. I'm talking about how does persuasion. And again, I'm not the magic man at this. I don't have all the answers. So Jay, we can even coach a little bit too on like how we can talk about it after. So Jason is a working dad. He's middle management. He's asking this question, which I think is really, really critical of, we talked about this in our high performers thing. He's asking this, it's the comfortable life. Is this as good as it gets? Really? This is it? You know, got kids going to college soon, too many hours, too little pay. And that's an interesting one because you got a lot of hours, you got a lot of pay. So he's actually considering a second job because he's got to pay for that college and because that doesn't make enough jack. So we got to talk about what that looks like. So Jason, I know you just got done with our recent challenge and you really, man, it was really great. You got some amazing success with P90X3. You did Beachbody On Demand, which was cool. So I know you had a chance to check out some of those other workouts. So that was really cool. And you've been doing Shakeology. So you're in when it comes to being a customer, man. So it's time for us to, you're at the point, you did do the first 2 months of paying full retail price for Shakeology. And, we talked a little bit about before that, you're kind of struggling a little bit with pay wise. So I'm looking to minimally save you some money on Shakeology moving forward. So you can not only, you drop that 25 pounds, I would love for you to keep making progress because I know you think you got about another 15, 20 to go. But I'd love to save you about $20 a month minimally. And then we can maybe look at some other things. So let's talk a little bit about what does it mean. Let's talk about why. Okay, sorry, I've got to ask better questions here. Tell me, dude, what's been going on in your brain about coaching? Like, what have you been thinking? And tell me about like what is this other job that you've been looking at? Is there any specifics there that what have you been considering? Just tell me.
Yeah, the challenge was good. It was really hard to fit in the workouts, honestly, because of my schedule and everything. But I just basically got up earlier, stayed up late, and got it done. I'm glad you mentioned about the discount because I was actually thinking about stopping the Shakeology just because of the cost. So maybe that's something worth looking at is if there is a discount like that might help. Looking at the second job, it'll be a part-time thing, so it'll be at night. And it's tough right now because I do want to see my family, but at the same time, college is not cheap, and I've got to do something to make up the difference because even though I'm working a lot on my full-time job, it's just not enough to allow for the savings to also fund the college, and there's financial aid and things like that, but we've got to do something extra. So that's why I'm looking at the second job.
Yeah, and
there are a couple of them.
Right at that point.
They're not really career type things. They're in the evening, just supplemental income.
Yeah. So, okay. So that makes sense. And so if you had this opportunity, so I'm thinking about your specifics, like, are there like specific like cash figures that you're maybe even looking at? I mean, I want to get specifically, like, what are you looking to kind of to get, like, if you had to get like you're going to get a part-time job and you can take some time away from your family, you're going to have to be outside of the actual physical location of your house to be able to do some of these things that you're looking at. What are some like figures that you might, I mean, we're good enough friends that you can kind of throw that to me, dude. What's the deal?
Yeah, it's a range. And it's pretty much just taking whatever I would make on the second job and try to put as much of into it directly into savings as I can. So I'd say, $500 or $1,000 a month, something like that is what I hope to be able to get through a second job without sacrificing all my free time.
Sure.
And by putting that in savings, I think that would really put us in a good spot in a few years here for college.
Yeah. And, so I know part of the thing that I kind of knows about your family is I know you've got kids who are involved in sports, and I know you've got a couple kids. And so the thing that, I was wondering about, like, how's that going to work with your wife driving the kids to the sports when you're not there? Like, how's that all going to work? Like, I just was trying to.
I mean, it's going to be hard, man. Because I already miss out on a lot with the full-time job, and now I'll miss out on even more stuff. So it's part of the struggle that I have with even adding the second job. We've been trying to cut expenses, and of course, we were talking about the Shakeology as part of that. It's helped me so much, but if it allows me to stay home and not have to do that second job, it's one of the expenses that we were looking at, unfortunately, along with cable, magazines, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Yeah. And so, McDonald's, of course. And yeah. So as I'm hearing you here, so if we were able, let's see this problem. So if we were to be able to get you somewhere between the $500 and $1,000 a month, if we were to help you get that without sacrificing, because I don't know what you're looking at. Maybe it's going to be like, in order to pull that down at, say, $10 an hour. I don't know, $10, $12 an hour, like at a Home Depot or something. I don't know where you're in something like that. You're probably going to have to be working somewhere around 20 hours a week-ish, something like that, 15 to 20. When you get taxes out of that, to get your $1,000 per month.
It'll be a lot of weekends.
Yeah, a lot of weekends off. So, bro, I just think if we were able to get you that money, keep you at home for the most part, where you could actually do some of this stuff, maybe in the mornings, evenings, a little bit on weekends, and maybe then give you an opportunity then to save that money on Shakeology. So that's like minimally going to give you the savings on Shakeology. Keep you accountable to your health habits, because I know you made such great progress, and the people in your challenge group, man, were so inspired by you, and you're just like a natural leader. So what I saw in that was that the fact that you because I know in your job you do some leadership stuff, but I'm thinking like that just naturally poured out into the challenge group, and you were so good at doing that. I would just love, so this is kind of how it would work, is that we would work together in running a challenge like that together. And then maybe over time, you would begin to ultimately take your own with your own people and then kind of move forward, because you are obviously, you're a natural leader, man, and you've got that ability. And I don't think, it's going to take you more. It certainly isn't going to take you in the spot weekend hours that you're going to be talking about having to get, probably in order to get the money that you need to on that. It's not going to take you 6 hours, 8 hours on a weekend out of your week. I can guarantee you that. Now, you have to scatter that out a little bit through the week a little bit more. We'll have to be strategic about that. But I'm wondering, dude, if we were to get you all of that, would that be a win for you, where you're home, you're able to work this job on your own time, fit it in within your own hours, make you that money, and then give you a little bit back, give you those weekends back, so you're not like complete cash by the next Monday. When that Monday rolls around, you got to go back to work again, dude. I'm so worried for you, man. You're going to burn out. So if we got you all that, would that be kind of a win for you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. One thing is, I kind of lost your audio a little bit. I think you got to move your mic.
Oh, sorry, man.
But part two is that I appreciate the kind words. I've just never really seen myself as a coach. I'm just getting started. I don't feel like, to be a coach, you've got to be like an expert on stuff. And I'm just there to help people. I don't know that I'm ready to be a coach.
Absolutely. And, I've been there and I felt that way in the beginning. So, but what I found, is, see how I did that, Tyler? See? What I found is that I only need to be like one step ahead, because the thing is, it's really not so much about what you know in the full range of this, because you'll always have me as a person to potentially pull back to for questions and things like that. But it's more about the idea of just being one step ahead. And the thing is, there are people who are 3 months behind you, because you're already 3 months of P90X3. They're 3 months behind you, and they haven't even gotten started. But you could help them get started on P90X3. I know you could. You can say, "Oh, hey, this is what I did." All right, sounds good. You don't have to be a professional at it, and then there's lots of resources too, and we have some training specifically. And the cool part is that we've got this deadline coming up here, of signing up because our new coach training is going to start next week, and I would love for you to be part of our 5-day start training, which would be really, really helpful for you, man. I think it'd be
that'd help, I think.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, though. I want you to take a look. I've got a video that I'd like to send you on the coaching opportunity. I know you haven't really looked at this specifically, so I'm going to send you that. And then I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow, and we can talk a little bit more if that's cool.
Yeah, okay.
So that's kind of how we might deal with that. And that's a very specific I like that you gave that objection to, Jason, because it's important to know that people aren't going to always, yeah, sure, Dan, that's all great. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, that's one, like, honestly, that I've heard from a lot of people that I've looked at in challenge groups, and I'm like, wow, this person would be a great coach. And you tee it up to them, and a lot of times they're like, they don't see how far they've come.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that even though they're only one step into their journey, they're still a step ahead. There's still people looking at them and saying, I wish I was there.
Yep.
And that's really all it takes.
Yep. It's good. One step ahead. All right, bro. Thanks so much for doing that. I appreciate the extra time. Thanks, everybody, for being there for the extra. And this is really, really good. I hope it's helpful for everybody. And just these little things. And if you need specifically to send that on to somebody, guys, where they need either of these scenarios would help. Sometimes hearing it helps more than just reading it or things like that. So if it does help, pass it on, and we'd love for it to be a resource for people. So, all right, guys, thanks. We'll see you next week.
Peace. See you guys.